Hello again, Lockpicking Paul here, and what I've got tonight is a Saicoss Cardlock. So it's a reasonably old lock, and this came to me via Jason34 from the UK Locksport forum, and Jason very generously has supplied several of these to various members of the forum. And Jason comes up with some amazing locks, and he tends to be very generous and share them about, which is just lovely. So Jason, huge thanks for very cool locks to play with. It's much appreciated. So this uses a credit card to unlock the lock, and you've got a full-size credit card version for goes in your wallet, and you've got what I think is a keyring card, which is the first, I think, Achilles heel of this lock. If you've ever had one of these type of cards on your keyring, either for a store or something like that, it's not long before they crack and they split and they break, and that causes you a problem. So there's your first issue. You might end up without a key and it doesn't go on your keyring very well. They work by just slotting in here, push down, and it pops the shackle. It's a 4-pin lock, and we'll just show you how the mechanism works. If you can see inside here, you can just see a little metal thing here at the end. That's the end of a carriage. It acts like a bolt, but this whole assembly is a carriage here. And so once the pins are required heights, you just push in this direction and the lock pops open. There are 4 pins in the lock, which brings us to our second Achilles heel, which is probably explains why you don't see too many of these about. The 4 pins only have 3 pin states. So that's either 0 lift, maximum lift, or midpoint. And the reason for that, you've got 1 millimeter of space to play with here, so that's not very much, and so therefore you don't have much in the way of bitting variation. So with 4 pins, 3 states, that's 4 to the power of 3. That's not very many combinations. Now, if you can take a credit card and effectively have 4 combinations per card, it's not going to take a very big pile of cards as a set of tryout keys to pop this lock open. Plus, not all of the tryout combinations are going to be valid. So for example, if you had 4 maximum lift cuts, well, that would effectively be a flat card. Well, any card will open the lock then. So that's not very viable. And 4 0 lifts would be 4 large holes. I'll explain how the holes work in a second. So again, some combinations wouldn't work, so that's even less variations that you need as a tryout set for this lock. So how does it work? The big holes are basically the 0 lift cuts. So what that does is these pass over the pins, settle on top, and the pin entirely pushes through the hole. So this isn't depressing the pin in any way. So those 2 there are 0 lifts. Where you've got no hole, there should be a pin here. That's a maximum lift, okay? So it's using the full width of the card to fully depress the pin, which just leaves us with the small hole, which is half depressed. So that's a midpoint. So again, not terribly difficult. In order to pick this, just use a stout tensioner, run it down the back of the pins. Don't really want to touch the pins because they do overset. So if you were going at this sort of trial and error, it would take quite a bit longer to open this lock up. So I've got stout tension on it. I'm just going to pop this down, and because we've got this card here, I know we only have to pick this pin to maximum and this pin to halfway. That's all we've got to pick to get this lock open. So let's give it a go. Right, just a little bit of carriage movement. It might not go first time. We'll see. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So not terribly hard to open it. But like I said, if you were doing that blind and you hadn't seen the key, that actually would have been quite a lot more trial and error. But anyway, a fascinating piece of lock history, and thoroughly good fun to try something really rather different. So that's it for tonight. Hope you enjoyed that. Enjoy your picking. Cheers.